Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. Come back soon.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Hey, fellas, don't fight over that hot dog. There's plenty for everyone. Big, plump, and juicy, wrapped in an oven-fresh bun. Add mustard, relish, ketchup, and go to work. Yes, the hot dogs at our refreshment center are the best you'll find anywhere. Everybody agrees on that.
It's 3 minutes till showtime.
Thirsty? The refreshment stand is open with everything to satisfy your taste buds. Here's the menu: the hottest, freshest, crunchiest popcorn, each kernel popped to its fullest with that real movie time taste. Cold drinks. You'll find your favorite ice cold, tasty, and thirst quenching. And hot dogs, hamburgers, and candy too. Now a short intermission, so you'll have time to make your selection before the show begins.
It's 2 minutes till showtime.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Top quality hamburgers, the most popular snack in the country. We serve them plain or garnished to your taste.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Just 1 minute to go.
And now, on with the show.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Hello, fellow humans, and welcome to my stream. As always, we welcome any non-human identifying sentient creatures who may be out there watching us today, and all the non-sentients who are out there enjoying the poker action. We've got 3 tables running currently on Unibet Poker. We got the €1 Falling Star Bounty with €200 guaranteed up top. We've got the 65-cent Comet Nano, which doesn't run very often these days. Not enough people. There's just barely enough to run. We got in for the 9th player. We were late registering today, but it was running, so we were lucky and jumped in. We like this tournament, played a lot. We've won it once, so it'd be cool to get a second Comet Nano trophy. Got a few extra chips. Starting in this one, we turned a flush to win a reasonably big pot early on in the game. Also got in the bottom left the Dark Matter Nano that we play quite a bit as well. And we're doing well in the Dark Matter Nano as well, because we also turned a flush in the Dark Matter Nano. But then we lost some chips in another big pot, unfortunately, that cost us some. Unfortunately, we raised Ace King on the button, and Ace Jack called us from the, or sorry, we were in the cutoff. Ace Jack called us from the small blind. Flop comes Ace High, but unfortunately it comes with an Ace Jack. We got no clue what we're up against, and we keep betting in, so we ended up losing a fairly big pot on that one, because we bet 3 streets for value with our Ace top. And lost some chips there, but that's okay. It was one of those hands that's going to happen, and we didn't lose our stack at it. We were able to. It was JB Good up there in the top left that did that to us, so we'll keep an eye on that and go from there. Let's get a closer look on the action here for the Falling Star table to start with. We'll move around to tables as we get action happening in them. I'm going to put in a raise with my suited ace here, or really early position, so it's kind of a loose raise, but it's a suited ace. Ace 3 means we got wheel draw, steel wheel draws. We got good draw possibilities with this hand, so I don't mind putting in a early position raise with it. Clearly not getting involved to overshove with the wrong suit. Probably would have called the initial raise here, but I don't think I can call extra. I don't think I can call that 3-bet with this hand. Huh. Well, because you would have got there doesn't make it a good call. So yesterday I played a little bit off stream. I actually ended up bubbling the final table of the Titan Nano at the end of the day. I don't think that was quite enough for me to make a profit on the day, but I just have a quick look here at my results from yesterday. That would be the 14th. Yeah, so we were about $1.10 in the about $1.10 in the hole for yesterday's buy-ins, but we did cash the falling star, and like I say, we final table bubbled the Titan Nano as well. So wasn't a terrible day and wasn't a total loss, even though we weren't completely in the green on yesterday's runs. In case anybody was worried about the health and welfare of Crazy Papa, he is on my Comet Nano table. So all is right with the world. We have Crazy Papa on one of our Nano tables today. No one need worry. Got a hand potentially developing here in the Dark Matter Nano. We flop top pair. There's a lead out from Jew on the flop. Now he's checking the turn. That could be a club line that's trying to get somebody to bet into him. It could also be a king line that is a little worried about the clubs now and is just calling behind with their king. So I think we're still in the mix. And I think we're going to continue to be in the mix here, probably calling most action. And we're going to lose to the club sometimes. Like I say, I think that was a club line that was trying to get extra value. He would have been, I think, check raising that flop if anybody had bet into him. That's one of the reasons I checked, just because I knew that anybody with clubs is going to be check raising that flop. And assuming it wasn't the dude in the final position, we can get through to a cheap flop just by check once the first guy checks. Ready, I'm going to reshove my ace king here, I think. We get one call, probably get a call from Jew as well. Yeah, Jew reshoves. Wow. You get the ace though. We get dirty, dirty, filthy, filthy. We get fucking lucky on that one. That's for sure. I won't argue, but I will also thank the poker gods for that one. Ace king in against king king is not the happiest spot in the world, that's for sure. Interesting hand developing on the Comet. Not so interesting anymore. Our hand just got super weak. Any ace is now ahead of us. And it's now a split pot. Unless he's got clubs. And he's got clubs. Well, that was an ugly, ugly, ugly little hand. We flopped the nuts. Ends up by the river looking like a split pot. Well, we didn't flop the nuts. We flopped second nuts. Ends up looking like a split pot by the river. But no. He just has us crushed on the turn. He just has us totally crushed on the turn. It's going to be that kind of day. That's cool. That's cool. So we got backdoor hearts on this one. Not a terrible spot to be in. We'll see what develops. Our king high is actually going to be good here. Reasonably high percentage of the time. And frankly, I think it's still going to be good here, reasonably high percentage of the time. I don't think it's worth value betting. But I'm pretty sure we're calling some action here because our king high is good here a ton. Yeah, you got there on the river, like I say, but we're good there like an awful lot. Frankly, actually, if I'd have put in a bluff with my king high there, I may well get dude to fold here. When he rivers to 8 there. No, really the only thing I could have is an ace to beat him, and there's 2 aces on the board, so he's probably not going to think I have an ace as often. So yeah, a bet probably doesn't necessarily get him off his hand there. Hey, Ant-Man, how you doing, buddy? So far, I think you're the first to arrive. Yeah, we'll fold that one. Always good to see you, though, Ant-Man. Always good to see you. We've currently got 3 games going. The Comet Nano is running again for a change today, which is nice. We've also got the Falling Star Bounty running as usual, and we've got the Dark Matter Nano running as well. So those are currently our 3 tables in action. So I put in a raise with a pair of 10s here on the Comet Nano table. You notice Crazy Papa's hanging out with us here on the Comet Nano table as well, so all is right with our world. We're going to put in a C-bat on that board with our pair, over pair to the board, and I think we're going to keep that up. He does not have to have clubs or a 7 or a 6. He can be floating with aces and with one club quite a bit. Just like that. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody who might be out there. Numbers are starting to creep up a little bit. My average viewer numbers have been steadily rising over the past 6 weeks or so, which has been great. They do seem to have plateaued around 9 or 10 though at the moment, so we'll see how things can go. But I'm actually pretty happy with. I'm a lot more interested, to be honest. I'm a lot more interested in building a good audience than I am a big audience. I don't really want. I mean, I obviously wouldn't mind having higher viewership numbers. Don't get me wrong. But I want people who come here to actually come here because they want to come and watch this stream and enjoy my company and enjoy the company of everybody else in the chat. I don't necessarily want a bunch of randos popping by just cause, if that makes sense. You know, it's interesting. I watch Ian's numbers when he runs free rolls and things, and it's funny. I mean, he has like a core viewership of like 45 to 70 or 80 or 90, depending on what day it is and what time of day it is, and so on. But it will spike to like 150, 200, 250 on around the time of the free rolls, and then drop again, and then spike again, and then drop off once the last free roll is done. I noticed the same thing happening with viewership numbers on David's channel as well. So I'm not really interested in boosting my viewership numbers that way, frankly. I want really I want to grow this channel organically, and I want it to be people who want to be here, frankly, and not others. Mav, MVE, good to see you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ant-Man was the first to arrive, but it's nice to see some more people coming around and hanging out with me. Like I say, I love the people that we get by so far. Everybody's really interested in both the poker and the other chat that goes on. Everybody has contributions to make in both areas, and I mean, I love the crew that we get so far. Never fooled your 8-9. Never fooled your 8-9. An interesting hand happening here on the Dark Matter table. Ooh, and he calls me with just a king there. Crazy. 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 King with no kicker. Crazy. Nice call, though. Nice call. Maybe that's why he's got a 31,000 chip stack. Give the newcomers an overview of what we're playing for now. Nice one, Hat-Man. Good job. You take down those big ones. Take down those big ones. So we got the Falling Star bounty in the top left here. We got the Comet Nano top right. We got the Dark Matter Nano bottom left. Those are the three games we're currently in. Got an Easter free roll ticket today, which I will probably jump in and play. Looks like there's some flips and there's some turbo free rolls over the next few days that we'll do. I'll probably jump into one of the actual poker games. I'm not a real fan of the flip structures. I don't mind them when they're free, which this one obviously is, so I don't mind that. But at the end of the day, I'd rather play poker than just flip for prizes, right? So if I've got a choice to play poker, then I'll play poker. If the ticket's only available for flip, then I'll play the flip and be quite happy with it. Or if it's a free roll flip, I'll play the flip and be quite happy with it. But if I have a choice, I'm gonna play the actual poker match rather than the flip. Broadjoy, welcome, welcome. I know I'm technically supposed to go to some web page and look for that password, Broadjoy, but do you happen to have the password for that one available? I might jump into it if you do. I think we'll see a street with our ace-3 of clubs there. I won't play further there or on the Dark Matter probably. Second place, man. Still, that's a good run, and I mean you're gonna get there. You're absolutely gonna win one of these sometime MVE. I guarantee it. You are so close, and you get so there. It's just a matter of time before you take one of these down. If I had to predict, I actually would think that it's going to be the Omaha Calypso. You seem to be crushing that one the last little while. But you actually do really well, and I mean you cash in these nanos all the time. So I mean I joke about me being the Nano King, but you're just as much of one as I am. I think you certainly play these very very successfully. Feels nice to be back in the Comet Nano again. It's been a while since I've had a chance to play that because it hasn't run for a while. I've tried to get it running a couple of days and it has canceled out. And then a few other days I've been late registering in it and it still hasn't run. Right, so we've gone up and down on the Comet Nano table here, so I think we're pretty happy with our spot. I think we might check raise on this board. We're definitely going to check call. Do we actually want to check raise here? I really only have the straight draw at this point. Don't have any flushes, so I think we're just going to call behind. So we hit our straight. Pretty happy with that, obviously. So I think we're gonna check and hope he bets, and we can check raise here. It goes check check. So that's no fun, but I'll take the win. Nice one. Nice one. Like I say, I'll probably play the poker version tomorrow. The poker free roll tomorrow. It looks like it's on there. So. Interesting hand on the falling star here. We flopped the set. After a 3-bet from Nilsson. And I think we're just calling it off here because there's no reason to assume that she has hearts, and if she does, we're just unlucky. We still got outs to the flush, but this is really indicative of an overpair. Just like that. Glad one of those queens wasn't a heart, but it's a nice little spot. We grab a 42-cent booty to add to our little falling star total there. So let's put that in the bankroll tracker. Make sure we've got that tracked. We've got interesting hands developing on the Comet as well, where I think, are we calling off with jacks here in the Comet? You know what? I don't think we are calling off with jacks here in the Comet. I got to think about this for a second. Jesus, jacks here. God, I'm a net. I am such a net. Was for my life, though. It's a good chance to double up, but jacks just feels a little weak there. Just grabbed a nice double up in the Dark Matter Nano as well. With kings against somebody with a big stack who decided to call us with 8-5. And then call us down when they flopped the straight draw and didn't get there. Ah, right, it's the betting one. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't do any of the sports betting stuff. We'll call behind here with our 5s and see what the flop brings. I'm out of the way with 5s here. Falling Star has some interesting things happening. We get checked to after raise and a bunch of calls pre-flop, so I think we're going to put in a rather chunky bet with our overpair. Yeah, I haven't done any sports betting at all on Unibet. I don't really do a ton of sports betting in general. I'm not a huge sports fan. So, I mean, there was a time in my life when I did actually play hockey, Canadian hockey lottery, sports betting. It's not really sports betting, and it was a weird way that they did it, but it was actually pretty close. You got to bet on point differentials in games and packages of games and things like that. It was kind of interesting, called Sports Select. So I used to do that when I followed hockey obsessively, but I don't really follow hockey as much anymore, and I don't really feel like I have the skill set to be able to actually accurately make decent predictions anymore. With that, I'd have to get right back into it to do that. There's a time when I knew enough about tennis to do the same, but that time has passed on me as well. I don't watch nearly as much tennis anymore either, so it's not really any sports that I feel like I can reasonably bet with. We just got gifted a stack in the Comet. Let me bring that up on replay for you here. So we had a pair of 10s, as you can see. We'll go back to the beginning of the hand here. We're in the big blind. We get dealt a pair of 10s. Get Tron raises to us. We tank for a while on this one, trying to figure out what we want to do here. And it turns out we decide just to call behind and see what happens on the flop. We've got an overpair to the board when the flop comes. So we put in a bet, which I realize now is a donk bet. I didn't realize that at the time. I was thinking it had been checked, or it had been limped through pre-flop at the time. So I do kind of donk out here. Buddy comes over the top of me for a ridiculously large shove, which just seems like it makes no sense to me at this point. And what it turns out is that he's doing this with a gut shot straight draw after I make the call. And a backdoor diamonds, neither of which get there. We end up with the full house, sixes full of 10s, and we take down a rather nice pot and take his chips away from him, giving us 17,000, almost 18,000 chips, and second place on the chips on the leaderboard in the Comet Nano. Eddie, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Once again, unfortunately, I have to apologize for not getting a new ad scenes cut for you guys. So we're going to be going back through some oldies but goodies. I mean, they're all oldies but goodies, right? That's the whole point of these ads. They're oldies, but they are ones that if you are a regular viewer of the stream, you may have seen these segments before. But I think given which ones I'm going back to this time, it's probably been a while since you've seen them. So they'll at least be somewhat fresh from that perspective. That's the break. We've still got one hand in action on the falling star table, so we'll let that one run down. I think now that we've flopped the straight flush draw, we're not going anywhere. The draw does not come through for us, so we are probably getting out of the way here, although it checks to us by the guy that bet. Could be a bet on hearts. Let's actually put a bluff out here. Cross our fingers. See what we got. Hey, there we go, there we go, there we go. Nice bluff, Lyle, nice bluff. Righty, let's kick you off to the break, and we'll see you in a few short minutes.
Yes, sir. If you want real entertainment, the best place to find it is in front of a General Electric Black Daylight big-as-life television set. Sports, comedy, drama, news, music, Yes, they're all yours, merely at the turn of a dial. This model has a big 16-inch black rectangular tube that lets you see everything that the camera sees, true to life and as big as life. Sparkling contrast and sharp focus give you pictures of such clarity that you feel you're right there on the scene. The cabinet, designed and constructed by America's leading cabinet makers, fits gracefully into any type of room. Genuine mahogany veneers, hand-rubbed for lasting beauty and durability, are just one example of the painstaking attention to every detail, which makes this cabinet one that you'll be proud to have in your home. The precision engineering and careful assembly techniques used in making this General Electric black daylight television set are your assurance of television at its finest. See it in operation at your General Electric dealers tomorrow. And when you see it, well, you'll know that you're seeing the best.
Good. Something else I want to show you. It's right here on the table. Right here. Look what we have. You know this, don't you? What is it? The big yellow box with the big blue letters on it. What does it say? Kix Crispy Corn Puffs. That's right. This is a new box, too. Look at this. Just ready to put on the pantry shelf so that it's there, right on the shelf when you want it for breakfast. Or for lunch. Or for supper. Sure. Say, wouldn't it be fun to come down to breakfast some morning and find a bowl of Kix that looked like this? Smiling right up at you. Look at that. Blueberries, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. That mouth is really smiling. Isn't it? Yeah. And we have another bowl of Kix, too, right here. This one doesn't have a face on it, but look, it has 4 pieces of banana sticking up in the sides and a half of a fresh peach right in the middle. Doesn't that look delicious? Makes my mouth water. And we have a third bowl of Kix right here. Look at this. With sliced peaches all around the side of the dish, and a blueberry between each slice, and the center is all filled with Kix. Say, those would be very, very good for breakfast, wouldn't they? Yes, and you know why they taste so good? Why? Because they're crisp, they're crunchy, they're delicious. They stay crisp to the last spoonful, and they have that wonderful corn flavor. That's right. So when you're ready for breakfast, you think about having a bowl of Kix, will you? They're good.
If you're still watching television on a small screen set, you're missing a lot. Here, for example, is a close-up on a 10-inch set. See how much smaller it is than my head? Now I'd like to show you the same close-up on a 21-inch set. There. Just look at the difference. She's as big as I am now. You can have big screen close-ups just like that. Close-ups as large as life with RCA Victor's great new 21-inch model, the Master 21. At the lowest 21-inch price in RCA Victor history. As little as $199.95. Visit your RCA Victor dealer soon. See television's greatest value, the Master 21. Big screen 21-inch quality TV for $199.95. And remember, every year more people buy RCA Victor than any other television.
And we're back. We're back with the 3 tables currently in action. I think I will probably add the black hole. Black Hole Nano has just kicked off. It's a nice development happening on the falling star table. I mean, this could easily be an overpair above me. But I think I'm calling them off. Oh, wow. Just the aces. Okay. Okie dokie. That was pretty loose on my part. I guess I probably don't need to go crazy with nines there, but and probably by the turn I should probably be pretty confident that he's got a overpair rather than like an ace king or something. He's probably not playing his ace king that aggressively, although he might be. I mean, he might have decided that he's turning it into a bluff at that point. So we just got the Black Hole Nano running. Nice little binkage there on the Dark Matter Nano. Let me get the Black Hole up here and showing for you. And we got the Black Hole running now as well. We got a pair of eights down there in the Black Hole Nano. We'll have a closer look at that. I'm going to put in a raise with my eights here. Try to clear out a few of these players. I'm not sure I'm going to, given the sizes of the bets here. We cleared out one at least. I think that gives me a more credible c-bet range here to have looked like I've hit the king or the 10 as well, so it's not a terrible place to be. And we take it down with our c-bet. Dark Matter table is interesting. I raised with nines, got called by JB Good, who's the one that got the ace jack against our ace king earlier, way back in the tournament. So I think there's a good chance they're ahead of us now. They might have the better heart draw as well, so I think we're getting out of the way here, but we're definitely keeping our eye on JB Good. When they bet like that, they've probably got a fairly chunky part of the board, as I've sort of figured out in that hand when they're active like that. So I think I'm probably behind even my heart draw there. So I think I probably had to get out of the way. Get on us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, and good luck to you in whatever you happen to be playing tonight. I was saying earlier that my average viewers in for the stream has plateaued at around 10 viewers recently, which I don't actually mind a whole lot. I mean, I'd obviously like to have more viewers, but the truth is, I want viewers. Got an interesting hand developing on the black hole. We just rivered 2 pairs with our ace-9. But the truth is, I want viewers who are committed to the stream. Everybody who comes and watches the stream now are people that I enjoy their company, they enjoy my company. Everybody in the stream gets along well. We have a good time. We have a good chat. We have good poker chats. We have good chats about other things. Everybody contributes a little bit to whatever subjects they happen to be interested and knowledgeable in. Everybody enjoys it when it's subjects that other people are interested and knowledgeable in, it seems like. So I really love the sort of, and that's the kind of chat I want to build. I'm far more interested in quality than I am quantity. And I want to build an organic community that has a bunch of people who love being here and hanging out together. So I'm actually not that. I would much rather have average viewership of 10 really solid people like I have right now, rather than an average viewership of 25 where the majority of those are just people that show up for no apparent reason and don't contribute to the stream or don't contribute to the chat or don't contribute to anything. So yeah, I don't know, just a little comment about the way I'm running this thing. It's sort of the way I run the subs and all that sort of stuff as well. I'm not really that interested in pushing that end of it. I want to grow the stream organically with people who come here because they find it of interest. So that's how I'm going to push things. Hey, this. Good to see you. Good to see you. I haven't noticed you on any of my tables yet today, but maybe we'll end up playing together again. So I picked up an ace-king here on the black hole table, which I think I'm going to put in a raise with. I'll check back here, do a delayed C-bet on the turn. That looks like not a terrible card to make a delayed C-bet on. Yeah, I probably should have made the raise with the ace-9. Probably should have made a raise with the ace-9 there for sure. Definitely have a hand developing in the... Wow, and he just gets there with the 10. Gross. Gross, 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 gross. Of course, he could have got there, I suppose, with the with the hearts as well, but oh well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Black hole's got some interesting things happening as well. We've got top trips, top kicker. We're pretty happy with our situation in the black hole, so we're just going to call behind, see if somebody else wants to put more money in on the turn. They do not. They check to us, so we're going to keep putting money in on the turn. We are going to keep putting money in on the river. Alrighty, Avis. Well, good luck with your doctor's appointment, and when you're done, check on back in, and we'll see how we're going. I don't know how long I'm going to go today. I've got some other things I have to do, so it might be a shortened stream today. But we'll figure that out. I think a lot of it depends on how the poker goes as well. I take it Addy and Ant-Man are playing on a table together somewhere, and Ant-Man is doing things that Addy does not like. I'm going to guess from the chat. We'll see what comes through on the flop with this suited ace-5. Ace-5 of green. We do have a gut shot straight draw to the wheel. That does not improve our outs at all. But it also doesn't bring in any of the other draws that he might have been betting on the flop. If he's betting a king, however, we have to hit our draw or our ace. That is not one of our draws, but we could pretend it is. But being that it's a backdoor and we called a full pot size bet on the flop, we are probably not here on hearts too often. So I think we just have to get out of the way, or diamonds, I mean. I said hearts because I was looking up here at this hand, deciding whether I'm going to call off my small stack with ace-7 suited, which I think I probably am at this point. I can't really hope for a whole lot better. We're behind, but we do get there. We do get there. I will take the getting there part. Considering we lost our stack when someone else got there against us, I have no shame in getting there against somebody else to stay alive. No shame at all, ladies and gentlemen. No shame at all. We are a no-shame operation here on the Mothership. Pair of sevens in the small blind on the Dark Matter Nano. Will probably involve some betting action. Will it involve calling off a shove from Salazzo? Yeah, sevens is probably a bit light for this. There's a good chance we're racing against hands like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, but there's also a reasonably good chance we're against overpairs, so I think we just have to get out of the way here. Pair of nines in the falling star. We've got something of a stack, but not a huge stack, and I think it's the sort of stack where we just have to shove our pair of nines. We're in early position, so it's not the strongest shove in the world, but I think we're not raise. We're not raise folding anyways, so I don't really think we want to call off a shove with our nines. I think we'd rather have our shove get called off with our nines, frankly. At least that's sort of the way I'm thinking about it. Eh, gross. He just gets there on us. He just gets there on us. I mean, it doesn't kill us too badly, but it's a small stack, but it's still kind of gross. Still kind of gross when the 10-5 calls you off and gets there. Pair of sevens on the black hole table. Put in a 4x raise from the button after a limp. Gonna c-bet this flop. He doesn't have to have spades. He doesn't have to have an ace. I could have both of those cards. I could also have the best hand of sevens. I call behind with our nines here. That is not the flop we were looking for. We will be folding that hand without really thinking about it too much. Get out of the way with ace-7 here, I think. Off suit for sure. Picked up a pair of jacks in the Dark Matter Nano table. Going to put in a raise with that. And we're going to shove our 15-odd big blind stack. We are 7 away from the money in the Dark Matter Nano for the record. I've just put in a raise under the gun with deuces on the Black Hole Nano table. We flopped a set. Putting in a raise under the gun with kings on the Dark Matter table. We'll get to that in a moment. We're going to see what happens with our flop set here on the Black Hole first. We flopped top set on the Dark Matter table, so we're in pretty good shape there, I'm thinking. We're going to keep the Gonna keep the action here though, for the time being, since we got callers coming back with us. I'm gonna get over to that one though, because we got callers on the, or we checked through on the flop to see if we couldn't get somebody betting at us. We didn't. This is gross because any 10 beats us now on this other table, but we still take it down. So let's go over and have a quick look at what's going on the Dark Matter table. Checked around on the flop because we wanted somebody to bet into us. They didn't, so we are going to bet the turn. We get raised on the turn. Could be a queen jack, obviously, but I think we're just going to put our money in and hope for the best. And, you know, we still got outs to the house if he is on straight. But he was on a draw of some sort or a bluff, and pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I probably should have jammed 7-7. I wasn't actually paying attention to the stack sizes the way I should have been. Nice little flop on the Dark Matter for us. Archibald, welcome. Just grabbed a few chips on the black hole with the ace-king. Bet call, bet fold is the way that action went. All right, we'll see you later of this. Good luck, man. Good luck, buddy. Hope the doctor's appointment goes good. Gonna check back on this all heart board. He doesn't have to have hearts, of course, but he certainly could. We get more equity, so we're definitely not going anywhere here. I think we're going to put in a bet now. Not quite half pot. I think we're going to go something like 1779. So we don't hit our straight, but we do hit top pair. We're just going to check back here because he can have hearts that he's going to raise on us, and he can have hit the straight here as well. So I think we're just going to check back and take our showdown value. Wow. Wow. We've put all our money in the middle with aces on the falling star table. Called by King Queen. And we hold for a nice double up. Still alive on the falling star. 30 to go until we're in the money there. We've taken one booty there, but that's it for us now. It was a 54-cent booty though, so it wasn't a min booty. It was slightly larger. He'd taken at least one bounty already to add to a stack. And that actually gives us a stack on the falling star that we can actually maybe take some booties with as well. There's a couple of people on this table we're out stacking now, so. Wow, so a pair of fives under the gun with 18 big blinds. I think that's just a shove. I could be too loose on that, but again, it's not one that I'm going to raise fold very often. So I don't really want to call off a shove with it. I'd much rather put the shove in myself, I think. I mean, I feel like that many chips is a bit large for an open shove, but I also don't really feel like I have a lot of other options in that spot, given my stack size and given the fact that I'm probably never raise folding off of that, and given the fact that it's so gross to actually call off with a pair of fives. We're definitely putting in the shove here. Try to pull at least one bounty, maybe two. And we hold for a nice booty. 42 cents. And we get kings right afterwards. Put in the c-bet here. I could certainly be up against an ace some of the time. But I think I call off here because I think he's got a queen enough of the time. And we obviously have outs to the king. We don't have as many outs to the king, obviously, when he has ace-king, but I still think we're calling that. I still think we have to call that most of the time. I mean, I guess I probably could, again, should have shoved that from the... That's gross, man. That is gross. Addy. Alrighty, enjoy, Brajay. Enjoy that one. I hear it's good. I'm not somebody who's a super fan of the show, so I haven't actually been watching it. I know that's sacrilege, but don't worry, you won't get any spoilers here because I don't have any spoilers. I don't have any spoilers to give you. 5-5 is a limper fold, you think? Okay. quick overview of our current layout. We got Falling Star Bounty up in the top left, where we've actually been surviving on the skin of our teeth here for quite a while. 24 away from the money now. We got 2 booties. Haven't quite paid back our buy-in and booties yet, but we're not far off that. Next booty should do it. We've also got the Comet Nano top right. We've got Dark Matter Nano bottom left, and we got the Black Hole Nano bottom right, all of which we've got some stacks working with to work with in there. So yeah, not too bad. It always feels kind of gross when everybody folds to you when you're holding aces, Addy. We're not in a money spot on the Falling Star, but we're actually not that far out of one, frankly. So we're not like super eager to get our chips in the middle really light at the moment. I mean, obviously you're never eager to get your chips in the middle super light, but there are spots where you're going to do that for strategic reasons, and I'm not necessarily sure we're always going to do those this time, because I think we're somewhat in stack preservation min cache mode at the moment. We'll see if that changes, but the Dark Matter Nano is closing in on the money. There's 6 remaining. We are 1 out of a money spot in that. 6 remaining until the money, that is. 6 places getting paid, 12 people left. The Comet Nano is still a ways off the money, but it's also got late registration for another 45 minutes or so, probably at least. So we've got lots of time left to go in that one, I think. Likewise with the Black Hole, lots of time left to go in that one. We are only 1 bullet deep so far, so things going okay for us there. We don't have a huge stack, but we've got a slightly larger than the start stack. Actually, at the next break, I'm going to crack my front window open a bit and see if we can't get a bit more light on the situation. I do need better lighting for this, I think. I think better lighting and a better webcam is my first sort of investment on the stream, probably. Got Ace King in the big blind on the Dark Matter. 15 big blinds roughly, so I'm pretty sure this is going in the middle. I'm pretty sure we're putting this shit in the middle against Salazzo, who we outstack. So I'm pretty sure this is all going in the middle. Yeah, no reason why not, I think. Sweet, we hold. We get there and we hold. That puts us in a scoring position in the Dark Matter Nano, with 5 to go until we're in the money. At least that will be the case once they finally update the lobby information, which obviously is going to be a while. Running slow today, apparently. So obviously betting my top pair here for value. And I'm going to continue betting my top pair for value, I think. And I think I continue betting my top pair for value. I mean, there's obviously a Jack-Queen out there and various Jack-7 type hands, but I don't think he needs to have those. He's only going to shove for another $3,000 if he shoves, so we were probably calling it off. I'm positive we're not 7th still in this tournament, so I'm not sure what's going on with the lobby updating on that, but we're clearly doing better than 7th overall with 33,000 chips now. Still live up here in the Falling Star. I'm assuming that its lobby is updating relatively accurately. It looks like it is. So it looks like we're 16 away from the money there. But I'm not sure if we're in a money spot or not. This is an interesting hand on the Comet that's just come up. JB Good raised me on the turn when I bet. I'm just going to check behind because I'm behind all the hearts and I don't think he's calling. Yeah, I thought it was a bluff, but so I didn't think I was getting any value either from the from a bet there. I think I was only getting called by better hands, and he's folding his bluff there all the time, his ace high there all the time. So. Alrighty, looks like the stats on the Dark Matter finally updated again. We are 2nd of 11 by the look of things. Now, 5 remaining to go until we're in the money. However, we are on a final table, so it looks like we're 9 to go until the money now. The lobby's updating seems to be behind today on at least the Dark Matter Nano tournament. Let me just have a quick look around the table. We are 2nd in chips, though, so that is at least accurate. Still, we are 2nd of 9, though, not 2nd of 11. Only 1 table remains in this one, which means we have got 3 to go to the money, I believe. Hello, Piano Cat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you here. Always nice to have our friendly neighborhood cat curled up beside our keyboard. Black hole table, I'm facing an interesting decision. He could have clubs for sure. I have the ace blocker though, so it's less likely. I think my jack is good here some of the time. Ugh, gross. Gross. Gross, 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 gross. Well, that was kind of disgusting. See if things go better for us on the dark matter table. Yeah, I heard something very briefly about Notre Dame being on fire. It was just like a Twitter. It was just um, like a Twitter headline. I didn't look at any details, but yeah, that sounds really tragic. It's one of the world's great cathedrals for sure. Amazing architecture. I'm not a particularly religious person, so the religious significance is somewhat lost on me. But as an architectural wonder, it is quite the amazing work of art. Frankly, I'm big into architecture, and I love that sort of design period. The things they were able to do with space, given the limited technical ability, is quite astonishing. I find in much of that. So we're still alive in the Falling Star. It looks like we've got a reasonable chance of making the money there. I'm a little bit suspicious of believing what the lobby information though is saying, because we're playing the final table of the dark matter, obviously, because there's 9 people on a table, and there was only 11 people in before, according to the lobby, so it can't be one 9-handed table. So we're clearly on the final table of dark matter, but the lobby still says it's 2 of 11, that we're 2 of 11. So I'm not entirely trusting any of the lobby information that we're getting today, folks. I think that there are issues behind the scenes at Unibet Poker, ladies and gentlemen, because the lobbies seem to be somewhat bad at updating today. Oh, that is really sad. That is really sad. I have not seen any footage of it yet or anything like that. So, and I know it's going to be kind of emotional for me. Like I say, there's no religious significance to me at all, but it's just one of the world's great buildings from an artistic architectural perspective. It's one of the hallmarks of a specific style, and it's a real shame to see it. Real shame to see it go. That is very sad. It is very sad. Is there any word on what the cause was? Is there any word yet on? I mean, I imagine it's still pretty early. They're probably still investigating. But is there any hint that it was like an intentional thing, or? RIP stream? I don't think so. It looks like it's still running for me. Unfortunately, one of the problems with the lobby being updated is I don't actually know precisely where I am in these tournaments. So I'm not really sure whether I should be going super aggressive or not in some spots, because I don't know how close to the bubble we are. I don't know how close to the bubble we actually are. It says we're 8 away, but I have a feeling we're a little closer than that, because it still says we got 11 people on the Dark Matter table, when we clearly have fewer than 11 people left in the Dark Matter Nano tournament. So I'm thinking that the Falling Star Bounty, which says there are 7 remaining until we're in the money, is also inaccurate. Although it is updating apparently more frequently than the Dark Matter Nano seems to be. So maybe it's more accurate. It's got aces v aces on the Comet Nano table. Split pot. Everyone loves a chop pot. It's one of the few situations where you do actually love a chop pot when you flip over your aces and he flips over aces, and you're like, yes, this absolutely is a case where I'm going to love a chop pot. I mean, obviously I was hoping to get it in against a lower pair, but if I am going to be in against aces, you better not fucking run out to flush anywhere here, buddy. It's kind of the way I'm going to look at it. That's pretty much the only way that it's not going to chop with aces v aces, is when somebody runs out to a 4-card flush. Get rid of the 10-8 under the gun on the Comet. does make it really challenging to gauge your bubble play. Oh, I see Ant-Man. Sorry, I'm mixing two things up. You're talking about the cathedral fire being caused by refurbishment, as opposed to the slow lobbies being caused by refurbishment of the software, which is what I was on. I'd already jumped forward a conversation. Yeah, actually, renovation work on something like that, it can be super dangerous, for sure. And that's always one of the things they have to balance when they do refurbishment work and cleaning and fixing stuff up, is that it's people don't realize how delicate it can be and how potentially dangerous, how potentially flammable and unstable some of the material is, especially with the super old stuff. So. So I think we're 5 away from the money in the Falling Star, and I think we are 1 out of. I think we're on the hard bubble spot at the moment. We just got a pair of 9s on the button, so I think we're shoving our 8 big blinds here when it comes around to us, and I think we're doing that regardless of what other action is in front of us. But I think we're absolutely doing it here, anyways. This can easily be an ace-X sort of hand that's 3-betting. Can also be a smaller pair than 9s, and I don't really think we can wait around all that much longer, so hopefully we can double up and survive. Break coming up as soon as this hand finishes. We've got one other hand in action on the Dark Matter as well, which we'll actually be playing. We may not have much luck here on the Falling Star. Oh, wow. Oh, we survived the Falling Star. Woohoo, we survived. Looks like we're going to cash on the Falling Star. Let's have a quick look down at the Dark Matter table where the final hand in action is, which we are going to be putting in the raise with our 2 pairs, aces and 3s here. We now have aces full, so I'm pretty happy to keep betting. Ace-king is the only hand we're in trouble against. And we managed to build up some chips on the Dark Matter. So we're going to head off to a break, and we'll be right back in a few short minutes.
The gentle sounds of springtime seem to say relax and be refreshed. And just as gently, Salem brings you springtime refreshment. For Salem special paper, air softens every puff, breathes in fresh, cool air to bring you a softer smoke. Take a puff. It's springtime. And in the softness of Salem, there's the rich taste of fine tobaccos. Menthol fresh, rich tobacco taste. Modern filter too, that's Salem. Most delightfully, Salem refreshes your taste.
Getting a new hat for the luncheon, Helen?
What luncheon?
Why, Thelma, don't tell me you've forgotten.
Forgotten? I wasn't even invited.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be glad to.
Well, Thelma, don't tell me you've forgotten. Forgotten? Why, Thelma, don't tell me you've forgotten. Forgotten?
I wasn't even invited.
Why, I haven't been invited anywhere for weeks. What's wrong with me anyway?
What's wrong, Helen? Maybe it's your breath. But new Green Mint mouthwash stops oral bad breath 3 ways better than antiseptics. 1, destroys mouth odor itself, even from onions, smoking, telltale beverages, not just germs. Because Green Mint contains exclusive chloroquet plus a new mouth sweetener. 2, even mixed with water, Green Mint has 37% more penetrating power. 3, tastes so good, leaves no antiseptic smell. Yes, with Green Mint, there's always a happy ending. Your mouth tastes so minty fresh, you know your breath is safe. Used professionally by over 10,000 dentists, Green Mint stops oral bad breath 3 ways better.
C-A-M-E-L, yes.
How mild, how mild, how mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test, and you'll see. So mild, so mild, so mild that you're bound to agree. That Camel suits you to a T, to a T.
Smoke Camel and see.
You know, each week the makers of Camels send free cigarettes to hospitalized servicemen and veterans. This week's gift Camels go to Veterans Hospitals Boise, Idaho, and Topeka, Kansas. United States Army Air Force Station Hospital, West Overfield, Massachusetts, and the United States Naval Hospital, Quantico, Virginia. The Camel people have now sent more than 190 million gift Camels to servicemen, servicewomen, and veterans.
She needs off. It's the mosquito repellent that really works. And here's proof. Look at those hungry mosquitoes go for this research man's arm. Now, a quick application of off. And look, they don't bite, they don't even light. Yes, with off insect repellent, they don't bite, they don't even light. So get OFF, off, the insect repellent that really works.
We are back. Yeah, I mean, I was sure once I get called by 2 people, I'm like, somebody's got an overpair here, and then the flop comes with the kings, and I'm like, somebody's got to have a king here. I mean, there's no way I can be in this hand and be ahead at this point. And then it just got worse and worse, and I'm like, how I ended up with chips at the end of that, I don't have a clue either, guys. I was just as mystified by the fact that I survived that as anybody else was. Once I get called twice after I shove there, I'm not thinking I'm in very good shape with my 9s. And once that flop comes, I'm thinking I'm even worse shape with my 9s. Yeah, so I don't know how I'm still playing. I don't know how I still have chips in the Falling Star. But hey, we still have chips in the Falling Star. It looks like we're 3 away from the money. Looks like the Dark Matter has updated over the break as well. It is showing us as 1 of 7 at the moment. So there's 1 to go until we're in the money there. Gonna put in a raise with my Jack 10. I could probably get out of the way of this with deuces. Yeah, I mean, I love these. I mean, obviously, don't love, but the way that they try to sell some of these products back in the day was just astonishing. How they're basically outright insulting people. And it managed to sell products. You actually see that if you watch Mad Men and things like that. You'll actually see them talking about strategies that it's like the whole negative compliment crap that comes out of the incel movement. And they're talking about how you can actually sell by highlighting negative points and making people feel bad about themselves so that they can improve themselves by going out and getting your product. It's actually a pretty insidious and gross form of advertising. And we get to see a lot of the examples of it here. So we are on either the soft or the hard money bubble in the falling star bounty now. After our astonishing hold prior to the break, we have a very good chip stack to be able to cash this tournament in and run up some money. We already have 84 cents in booties, so we're doing okay. Put in a raise with the King Jack. I also picked up a pair of fives on the Comet Nano table. It has folded to me, so we're going to put in a raise with those as well. We won the hand on the Dark Matter. It just folded to us pre-flop. We're putting in a raise from the button with Ace 8 suited on the Dark Matter table, and it also gets through to us. Oh, we are in the money now. We are 1 of 5 in the Dark Matter. I didn't even notice that. So we are now cashing the Dark Matter again today. We've cashed Dark Matter quite a few times in the past few days, so guaranteed 85 cents from the Dark Matter Nano so far today. We'll see how deep we can go. Action still hand for hand in the falling star. We'll focus on the black hole, or the Dark Matter, where we are in the money now. We're increasing our chip lead on the Dark Matter. This would be a 4th trophy for us in the Dark Matter Nano if we take it down today. Nine of Spades certainly makes this an interesting hand. Nine of spades makes this an interesting hand indeed. We don't have any front door, but we got tons of really great backdoor stuff here. So let's see what the turn brings us. A turn brings us the backdoor spades, but not the straight flush draw that we were so excited about. But I don't think we're going to go anywhere. We'll see what the betting action is and make a decision from that. But I think we're probably check calling here most of the time. I mean, there's quite a few bigger spades out there, but I don't think the way the betting action has gone, it's likely that anybody has them. Interesting hand is developing here on the Comet table. There's a bet on the flop, and I called behind and semi-bluffed the club turn because I have the ace of clubs. Take it down. Keeping the pressure on the Dark Matter Nano table with the chip lead. Both JB Good and Claudia would like to call behind and give me chips. When I hit, which I have, so we got top pair. He can be against an overpair. He can also be trying to bluff us off a hand here a lot. He can be on a worse 10. He could obviously be on hands like two pairs as well. And like I say, he can obviously be on overpairs, but I think we're calling off here. 10 deuce. Gross. Gross, 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 gross. He just fucking gets there. That's twice he's gotten there against us in this game. JB Good. Did it with an ace-jack against an ace-king earlier as well. On an ace-high board with an ace-jack on the flop. I should have remembered that previous hand, actually. I should have actually put him on two pairs. More being precisely him. I should have actually put him on more two pairs. Probably could have got away from that raise. I probably could have gotten away from that raise. I didn't actually need to double him up there now that I'm thinking about it. Too much bragging going on. Well, you know, when you got it, flaunt it, right? When you got it, flaunt it. That's what I say. Oh, we are ITM now in the Falling Star as well. After our astonishing hold right prior to the break, where we figured we were dead when we got called by two people on the flop. Then when the flop came, we figured we were even deader. By the time the river came, we figured there's absolutely no chance we could be the best hand here. And then all of a sudden, the dealer was pushing chips over to our side of the table, and we're like, "Oh, that's cool." It's always nice. It's always nice when that happens. So yeah, on the Falling Star, we're now 24 of 35. A min cash is 88 cents, is what we're guaranteed now. So we're making money on a few spots here today. life isn't running so good for us in the black hole Nano, but everything else has been running pretty well for us. We're 8 of 16 in the Comet Nano as we're coming up on the end of registration. Just folded a pair of 9s to a 3-bet in the Comet Nano. But we are c-betting our pair of jacks on this board in the Dark Matter Nano. Ooh, we're not watching the Dark Matter Nano. Let's watch the Dark Matter Nano. Definitely calling that off. I mean, it's going to be 2 pairs there some of the time, but given the stack sizes, there's no reason that they have to be doing this with 2 pairs. It's more likely an ace-9 of some sort, or even an ace-jack. So we are now 4-handed. We are back in the chip lead again here on the Dark Matter Nano. Now guaranteed to 119. Oh, we're 2 of 4. We're not quite chip leader yet. We might have been the last hand, but we're not anymore if we are. If we were. Hello, Mike. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Ooh, we got a bit of a viewership peak going here. We've been hard at this when we've been rated, but as like an organic viewership, we're sitting at 17 right now, which is pretty strong. We don't usually get quite that high, so I like that. Welcome, 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 everybody. If you're new to the chat, say hello. If you are new to our channel, my name is Lyle Bateman. I'm streaming from southern Alberta in Canada. Southeast Alberta to be precise, a city called Medicine Hat. Yes, that is our name, Medicine Hat. It is a long story about an ancient Aboriginal legend that gave us that name, which I've gone into once before on the stream. I'll probably go into again at some point, but I will not go into right now. And I play poker on Unibet, and I enjoy playing poker on Unibet. Doing a Hensy Pensy. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for coming by. Did you give us a raid that I didn't notice? Did you give us a host that I didn't notice? Either way, great to be here. Great to have you here. Yep, I think we're gonna try to take Toby out with our 5s here. Linkage! Alrighty, so we are chip leader out of 3 in the Dark Matter Nano now. once again, it seems pretty likely that JB Good and I will end up heads up in this tournament. Again, not so much based on the chip stacks necessarily, but based on the play that I've seen. Also based on chip stacks, obviously, as well. But both of the tables I've got JB Good on. He's demonstrated some pretty remarkable play, and so I'm expecting him to be the guy that we go heads up against here. Nice one, get him on us. Good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah, I guess that one didn't get through. Well flipped, get him on us. Well flipped, my friend. JB Good usually isn't betting unless they've got a piece of the flop, so... Yeah, no, cool, Hensy, good. Actually, Tony deserves the raid. He's doing good work. I actually meant to be over there playing some of the games. I need to do that tomorrow. That's actually going to be part of the stream tomorrow, I think, is I'll be playing at least one of the games over on his PokerStars home game. So I think for the first time ever on this stream, since I was doing anything but Hold'em, you guys will see PokerStars table potentially up on the stream tomorrow, if you tune in. I'm pretty sure I've never won anything in a flip on Unibet. I think I might have won a tiny thing on Stars once in a flip. But I'm pretty sure I've never won any flips I've gotten into on Unibet. I don't tend to run very well in flips for some reason. I don't know why that is, but you would think it should be a luck of the draw sort of thing, but some people do seem to run better in flips than others. We got a hand developing in the Comet Nano table potentially here. We just lost the chip lead to the Dark Matter as well. Yeah, we're definitely gonna... Question is, do I want Frank to come in with this as well? No, I think I want to put in the raise. He wasn't coming in anyways. Gonna call off action on the Dark Matter table, I'm pretty sure, with my ace-9 here. Linkage! Alrighty, so we are heads up against JB Good, as predicted. Pretty even stacks. We are the slight chip leader here, but the stacks are pretty even overall. And I mean, we both got pretty chunky stacks, to be honest. King High's good here at Showdown a fair bit, so I'm just going to check through and see what happens. He gets there on the river. It's going to happen sometimes. Got a choice to make on the black hole table. I think we're going to call off our stack here with King Queen suited. And we're done in the Black Hole Nano. We are not going to rebuy that tournament, so we're going to end the Black Hole Nano. And we got a good hand developing here on the Dark Matter. I just shoved for my life on the Falling Star. And we hold for a nice double up once again. Go back and pay more attention to the table that we're heads up on. Gonna put in a bluff here on the river. Get out of the way. I hope it goes well, whatever you're working on with the lawyers there. Piano, maybe I missed in chat what you said what you were going through. Is it something to do with your mother and the estate? I hate dealing with lawyers, frankly. They are useful, and there are times when they are the only thing that that you can use. But I really hate dealing with them. So I have the feeling this is going to be quite an interesting heads-up battle between JB Good and I. Been battling a fair bit on other tables as well. And he is not... He's not a bad player. He's quite a decent player. So I'll definitely have to keep a watch on that. So I got bottom paired here. Do I want to continue here with bottom pair? Backdoor hearts? No, I don't think we have enough action there. He can easily have a queen r6 and be ahead of our actual hand, and we don't actually have great draws in that situation either, so I think it's best just to get out of the way. Welcome back, Avis. Welcome back. You were off to watch the Game of Thrones preview, were you not? How did you enjoy it? Was it good? Don't put any spoilers in chat because people will kill you if you do, but Let us know what it was like. I'm sure that's what you were doing. If it wasn't you, oh, no, it was maybe Broadjoy that was off to do that. Oh no, you were off to the doctor's appointment. That's right. So don't tell us about the Game of Thrones. Tell us about how your doctor's appointment went. Hopefully that went well and it wasn't anything too serious. Looks like we picked up a decent little spot here in the Dark Matter Nano. The question is, do we raise here, or do we call behind and hope that the river doesn't kill our action? Let's actually put in the raise here, I think. There's a fair number of river cards there that we're not too keen on necessarily, so put in the bat on our flush draw there. I think raise 10-8 ish. Probably don't call off 10-8 even if it's suited. We are heads up, so it's a stronger hand than it would be under normal circumstances, but I still don't think it's quite a call-off hand in that spot for that many chips. We can find a better place to put our chips in the middle, I think. So a jack gives us the gut shot straight. We do have backdoor hearts as well with the straight flush draw. So no hearts. Pretty sure that was a bluff. Pretty sure I don't win if we check that, but the way he folded, maybe I do win if we check that through. Oh, right, of course there isn't an estate. Sorry, that was poorly worded. Sort of meant estate in the terms of power of attorney, but I understand what you're saying. That was poorly worded. I got a few too many tables on the go right now, and I've got other stuff I need to do later, so I'm probably going to pass on the sit and goes today, EVS, but we are still alive in the Falling Star. For the record, we've leveled up to €1 guaranteed now. Sitting 13 of 25 currently. Yeah. Gonna put in the raise with my deuce 5 here. Not gonna call it off, obviously. I've seen some of it. I did lose the thread somewhere around. I guess we're calling off here with King Jack. He's shoving like a ton of hands, so I think we're going to be ahead here a fair bit. Boom! That's number 4 for the Dark Matter Nano, ladies and gentlemen. That is number 4 for the Dark Matter Nano. That is number 4 for the Dark Matter Nano. DM Nano, 4th win. Sweet, so that's 339. That means we're in the money for today already, I think. Pretty sure. let's go look at what's happening on the Falling Star while we're clearing those details up. We're going to fold that. Probably shouldn't, but we're going to fold it anyways. Good to hear this. Good to hear. Good to hear. Very good to hear. Let us put some money in the Dark Matter Nano win slot. 3.39 for our 4th trophy in the Dark Matter Nano, ladies and gentlemen, and cats. We are 4th in the money in the Comet Nano as well now, and it is, we are 7 of 11, so we are right on the money bubble. There's 231 for min cash in that one. Currently, an interesting hand is developing there that I think we're calling this off for sure. Guess we probably got out of the way when we missed the flop. Raise call. He's the one that overshoved. We can actually put a c-bet in here, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to do a... I think we're just going to keep checking. Got a pair of queens on the Falling Star table. I put in a raise mid position with that. It's never a raise fold situation for me. I've got like 15 big blinds. We got reshoved by somebody with a smaller stack than us. Let's go over and have a look at that. Get out of this hand, go over and have a look at the Falling Star table where we're about to call off and take another bounty with any luck. Boom! We take another bounty in the Falling Star and get some extra chips as well. Yeah, Pansy, I can't really follow much more than 4 at a time. I'm old and I don't have the attention span. I don't have the reflexes and the ability to get to more than many more tables than that. So I am only playing 4 at a time. I'm currently down to 2 tables. I'm not going to reg anymore today because I'm going to wind this down, I think, as we go through. But yeah. Oh, I need to add that extra bounty. I didn't even see what we took there. Hang on a sec. Let me do that. What was the last bounty there? 50-cent bounty. Let's add that into our Falling Star total. We're up to 134 in bounties with €1 guaranteed in the prize pools. Right. I see. Yeah, it's dealing with those sorts of legal issues is just super tilting, I find. So I wish you all the best, and I wish there was a way I could help you with it. But I think as a Canadian, I can't give you any legal advice because I don't follow the same rules as you guys do, and all I can do is offer my moral support, which I do offer fully, wholeheartedly, and unconditionally. Comet Nano is going to be putting our chips in the middle with Ace King here from the small blind after a raise and a shove. Hope for the best. Come on. Ah. Oh well. So we're done in the Comet Nano. We don't manage to cash that one. 11th, 4 away from the money in that one, but that's okay. We are still playing the Falling Star bounty. got booties. We have booties. We're guaranteed at least €1. We're hoping to ladder up again as well. A little bit higher. Maybe get to the final table on this one. We're not far off the final table spot at the moment. So you're gonna have to find some sort of like business office space then to have as the headquarters for this company. Piano Cat, is that part of the part of what you need to do? I know that I'm sure that this must be something that's available in London. The company that I work with in Lethbridge, the company started as working out of a co-work space, and now that we've got our own space, we've actually turned some of our space into co-work space as well. So I might look around at that. You can actually so you're not actually renting a full office space or anything like that. What you're basically renting is a desk in an office that's shared by a bunch of other independent contractors and small businesses usually. And that can be a really inexpensive way of getting a physical business address without actually having to go through all the hassle of getting a physical business location, if that makes sense, because you can actually tie in with other people who are already there. And they're relatively inexpensive to do that sort of thing, especially I'm sure if you were talked to them and said, look, what I'm looking for is an address. I'm not actually going to be using your facilities a ton, but I'm looking for a base of operations for the company that we can store the documents in and that I can come in and show documents to other directors and things from. And you could probably work out a deal where you're not even paying you're even paying less than the sort of base rate for somebody who's going to come in and use the facilities. So I know we'd be willing to work out a deal like that for somebody who just wanted to sort of use our co-work space as a base of operations. Without actually necessarily doing work out of there all the time. So that might be something to look into. I'm pretty sure that it's a concept that's around all over the world. I haven't specifically seen or heard of any in London that I can recommend you to, but in Canada it's typically called co-work, cooperative workspaces, that sort of thing. So I might do some Google searches on that, see if you can find anything in your local area. Maybe I'm just preaching to somebody who's already looked into this stuff and you already know what I'm talking about, so I'll just leave it there. But just thought I'd throw that idea out. It's something that we actually run in our business in Lethbridge, is space for people to come in and work, and we have a few people who are taking advantage of that. Yeah, I think you're right, Hansi. I think it was definitely Colin in the comment. Just the way poker goes sometimes. If you're gonna cry about losing races, you probably shouldn't be playing poker. MVE, I swear that the Calypso Nano is going to be the first Nano tournament that you get a trophy in, buddy. I swear to God that's going to be the case. Are you not a power of attorney over your mother's estate now, or over your mother's affairs now that she's having some health issues and you're like dealing with her flat, or are you not a power of attorney? Because that makes a big difference in how easy it's going to be to do this director stuff, I would guess. In Canada, it certainly would make a big difference. If I was just trying to do business for my mother, it would be very difficult. for me to do that if she wasn't there or able to sign documents and make lucid judgments. But if I had a power of attorney on her affairs, it would be dead easy. I'm basically acting as if I was her. So. Yes, of course. Well, but you don't necessarily have to be there. I mean, certainly not in our case. With what we do, I mean, most of the people are not there all day. But I guess maybe if it was rented, somebody would have to be there in case somebody just showed up to look at the documents. Is that what you're saying? It sort of would have to be manned all the time. So yeah, I can see where that would be. And our co-work space wouldn't be able to put that sort of a service in where where we'd basically do your business for you when somebody if somebody came by to look at the documents. So I sort of get that. So yeah, something like a secretarial firm might be a good option for you there then. All right, so we're down to one table remaining here, just the falling star. We have got money coming back to us in this. We're already making a profit today. We've already doubled our money today. So we are going to absolutely turn an extra profit today because we've got at least a euro 14 coming back to us extra from the falling star at this point as well. The bounties we've taken are already counted in that ROI number, so those won't get added in yet, but we still do have whatever our cashing rate and any new bounties we take in this tournament to add in. I see. Okay, I think in Canada, I think in Canada, power of attorney can be used to execute all of the legal obligations that that person agreed to in their time. I'm pretty sure. I have to double check that. It's been a long time since I was involved in anything like that. It's been like 10 years since my parents passed away, so I can't really recall exactly how all the details went. And it was actually my brother that did power of attorney for that stuff instead of for me when my dad was in the hospital. So I'm not actually sure about all the details, but I'm pretty sure that it would be that there's a little bit more power granted to power of attorney here in Canada. It does seem like a pretty complicated. Problem, and I'm going to stop trying to give you legal advice because A, it's not coming from the right country, and B, I'm not a lawyer anyways, so I'm just going to stop trying to give you legal advice about what to do and just wish you the best and hope it works out for you. And know that you've always got a spot here to come and chat with people, either to vent your frustrations about the process you're going through, or in fact to just completely ignore that process and come here and have some fun with some friends for a while and just completely forget about that whole thing for a while. We're good either way, I think. Yeah, it's definitely a tricky spot for sure. It's definitely a tricky place to be. Yeah, absolutely. It needs to be something that everybody agrees on somehow. You'll need to work out some sort of an agreement with all the directors. Got a pair of eights here in the falling star though, and 16 big blinds to live with. So I think we're gonna put those 16 big blinds in the middle to this raise and hope for the best. We've been folding a lot, so this sort of raise should actually get a lot of attention from players at this table. I don't think we've played a hand in 10 minutes here, so it should indicate that we're pretty strong. Yeah, it definitely seems like you're going above and beyond and trying to do what's right for your mom, and that's definitely something I respect. We're now 7 of 16, still guaranteed 114. Our next pay jump, it comes at 15th place, so the next person who goes out gets 114, then we're up to 131. 12th place gets 131, and then 11th gets 152. 10th gets 152, 9th gets 180. Then we go up from there, 230 for 8th, which is where we're currently sitting, 327, 450, 611, 828, 1124, 1539, and 2154 up top, which would be pretty awesome to take down. We have not won a falling star yet. That would be pretty cool to do. We've come second in one of these once, I'm pretty sure. I'm not actually sure I understand exactly the concept of a freehold either, which is another reason why I'm probably not giving you great advice. I'm thinking it's probably similar to our concept of a condo corporation over here in Canada, but I'm also guessing there's probably significant differences as well based on your historic situations in the UK. So, I've heard the term freehold before, but honestly don't know exactly what's involved. Welcome back, Archibald. Welcome back, buddy. We got another break coming up here pretty quick. Alrighty, we got another break coming up, so I'm going to kick you guys off to the commercials, and we'll be right back to finish off our falling star here after the break.
Here's how you can relive a good time over and over again. See it, big as life in full color slides. The newest, smartest way to take color slides is with a stylish Kodak Signet 40 camera. You'll wear it proudly everywhere you go. Just aim, focus, snap. It's as easy as that. Exciting action shots, eye-catching close-ups, beautiful scenes, indoors or out, day or night. You can take them all in rich, beautiful color. The Kodak Signet 40 is the smartest color slide camera you can buy, yet it costs only $74 or as little as $7.50 down. Other fine Kodak color slide cameras range in price from $31.50 to $175. Ask your dealer about easy terms, and remember, when your camera is made by Kodak, you know it's good.
Folks, why do you eat Wheaties?
We like it.
But did you know it's always been whole wheat with all the bran, and bran is one of nature's best sources of food fiber.
That's news to us.
Wheaties breakfast this morning?
Sure, it helps me feel fit.
But do you know Wheaties has bran fiber your body may need?
That's news to me.
Why Wheaties?
Oh, we love the taste.
I have for years. But do you know for years you've been getting something extra for your diet? Bran fiber?
Well, that's news to me.
Wheaties. It's brand news.
I bought the fresh stick, just as you told me. You're absolutely right. It's neat and quick, and it goes on dry. It did make me feel cool and sweet, just as you said. I did everything you said, but my boss still hasn't asked me to lunch.
Unlike some deodorants, Fresh doesn't guarantee you'll get ahead in business. All Fresh does is keep you fresh.
When you think of it, that's quite a lot.
If you hate to reach down to clean that bowl with cloths, cleansers, bleaches, you need SaniFlush Toilet Bowl Cleaner. This beaker illustration shows how SaniFlush cleans the modern way. In minutes, its chemical boosters remove dingy film that forms in any water, even dissolve hard water rust ring. Cleans brighter because it contains the stain-removing chemical sodium binoxalate. Just pour, let stand, swish, flush. Your hands never touch the water with SaniFlush.
What's the best way to reduce? Eat what you want or starve yourself? Starve yourself? Wrong. A half-empty stomach causes hunger tantrums. Now you can avoid hunger tantrums, lose weight naturally and fast. With the RDX Full Stomach Reducing Plan, you fill your stomach, yet fat just seems to melt away. And safe, pleasant-tasting RDX tablets contain no dangerous drugs, no hormones. So if you want to eat and lose fat, get RDX at your drugstore today.
I'm Dr. Arthur Black of Black Flag. Aren't mosquitoes annoying? They bite, too. May I suggest Black Flag Insect Bomb contains 5 proven bug killers And unlike ordinary sprays, it hangs in the air longer to catch more flying insects. Costs 10 to 20 cents less because Black Flag sells more insecticides than anybody. Remember, the only good bug is a dead bug. Black Flag dead.
The pride and joy of families from coast to coast. For Welch's wine is fine wine, genuine kosher wine. Pleasantly sweet with a delightful flavor, superb bouquet, delicate body. And that's why smart homemakers insist on keeping a bottle or two in the refrigerator at all times. For unexpected guests, for refreshment, or just to make everyday meals a special occasion. Remember to add Welch's family wine to your shopping list. Welch's, the greatest name in products of the grape since 1869, assures you of Welch's quality from grape to bottle. So remember, when it comes to wine, you'll do well to insist on Welch's family wine. Incidentally, folks, we'd like to thank the many, many thousands of you who, for the first time, tried Welch's wine during the recent holiday season. And now that you've discovered the wonderful taste of Welch's family wine, well, we know that you'll be a favorite with us and with the Welch's folks from now on. Thank you.
Alrighty, I am back, sort of. I will say that I am actually cooking some food, so I'm going to click my mic and a webcam off and eat my food, but I'll be back very shortly, and I will be on chat as well. So we'll be back very shortly. Ready, I am back on voice. I will be back on the webcam here very, very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. Just getting myself back sat in my position. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Finished my food. We've had our brunch. We're 9 of 12. We got one more spot for another ladder up to 150 as well. We're actually looking for a final table spot here, at least. Yeah, I was in my kitchen making food when that Welch's family wine ad came on. And about jumped out of my skin from the kitchen, so it must have. I had to come back and make sure I warned you guys because I knew it would be 3 minute delay and I'd have time. But I knew it'd blow your guys' ears out if you didn't adjust your volume on it. Crazy. I run pretty well at the low price qualifiers, but once I get up into the 10 and the 50 euro price qualifiers, I get my ass handed to me pretty frequently when I get there. The sample size is still pretty small. I don't get there very often, and I'm not buying into those with cash usually. So, well, ever. I shouldn't say usually, ever. Certainly not 50. I'm never buying into with cash at this point. But so the sample size is pretty small on those. But so far I've busted everyone I've made a shot at. I think I've had 3 50 euro tickets that I've tried and busted to get to Unibet Open Finals. You still in the Falling Star Bounty Piano Cat? I know that's one you usually like to play. Haven't heard you talk about it today though, so I'm thinking you might not be in it. You might not have regged today. So we're up to 152 guaranteed now. Hello, Krypton. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You've managed to find us at the pretty much at the end of our day. This is just a shove spot with two pairs here. If we're up against spades, we're just up against spades, and you know there's not much we can do about it. But I think that anything other than a shove encourages anybody with one spade to come along to look for draws with my stack. And I'd just much rather take it down right here. Just like that. Just like that. And we go down in the falling star bounty. So it's pretty quick after the break. We didn't get to go too far in that, but we still got 152 in winnings to add to our 134 in bounties. So let's add that in. Plus 1.52 gives us 286 total for the falling star. 339 total for the Dark Matter Nano. Means our final day total today is 625 in wins on 235 in buy-ins, 165.96% ROI. So pretty nice. We get to add another trophy to our Dark Matter Nano slot on our shelf. We get to pull in another cache with some booties in the falling star. So it wasn't a bad day all around. Would have been nice to have gotten a little deeper in the Comet Nano, of course, and would have been nicer to have been able to hold on in the black hole where we actually had a pretty good stack at one point. But, you know, this is the way poker goes sometimes, and you're not always going to take it down. So thank you once again for hanging out with me today. I think I'm going to bring this mothership in for a landing once again. We're coming up on the 3-hour mark, and I've got a few other things to do this afternoon. So thank you for hanging out. I will be back again tomorrow. I think I'm going to try to stream most of the week this week with Ian being off. So thanks for hanging out with me today on the mothership, and we're going to bring this guy in for landing. Elron out. For more vintage poker content from Mothership Poker, click the subscribe button and check out the playlists for all of our old archived content, as well as the ads only cut from some of the early streams.